I have something to offer you, Winky Dink. I wanted to tell you, just between you and me and Winky Dink, a little something about this apple. I was lucky to find it in my refrigerator in such pitiful condition. But I was glad too because I wanted to use it as an illustration. You see how delicious it looks, how it's kind of sunken in and rotten right here where it's brown? Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment. In the meantime, uh, I want to ask you, have you ever been hurt? I mean, really hurt bad by gossip or slander or cruel remarks or someone that just literally destroyed your life with what they were saying and doing? And you've been so devastated that you still sting from it. Maybe something from your childhood that even though we have forgiven people, it's still in our memory bank, and it comes bubbling up every so often from your childhood, things that hurt you so much. Well, I sure do. Uh, even if I have forgiven the people, it still comes to the surface of my mind every so often. For example, and and I don't really like to think about it very often, but in my teen years, there were some bodies who in that were in my world who were bent on making my life miserable. And they were doing it all for the joy of gossip and slander, things that weren't even true, and things that were circulating around about me that weren't not even true. And I'm still amazed at all of the stories that were made up. And so, how do we overcome this? How do we overcome this in our world? Well, there's 3 practical steps, and I'm just going to list them off here. First of all, of course, if you're a believer, you know this, that we need to actively choose to forgive them. And we need to shift our focus from thinking about that all the time to having thoughts of gratitude, being grateful to the Lord for all He does for us, and His blessings are just new every morning. And then we need to take responsibility not just for our emotional healing, but we need to take we need to take and we need oh, I'm sorry we need to quit dwelling on the offense and stop dwelling on it. Stop retelling it. Every time you turn around, don't tell this story about how somebody done you wrong. Don't do that. Get that out of your mind and focus on good things and things that you're grateful for. And my brother-in-law, James Henson, he was a fine man. He was such a fine man. And he used to say, just consider the source. In other words, they're doing the best they can. And you have to consider their motivations and their limitations. Some people, they're just kind of limited. And their motives are not very good. And so just consider that. Let's read Ephesians 4:29 right quick and see what it says about this.